He can talk to anyone until she walks over. His answers shrink, eye contact drops. His mind goes blank. This isn't low confidence. Attraction can turn a normal conversation into a test, and one thing he does to look calmer can actually make it worse. A big part of this is fear of negative evaluation. A routine conversation carries little emotional cost. Attraction changes that. Now he is thinking about rejection, first impressions, whether she likes him, and whether one awkward moment could ruin his chance. His nervous system can react before logic catches up. His pulse rises, his voice shifts, and easy words suddenly disappear. Nothing physically dangerous is happening, but his brain can still read possible rejection as a social threat, and rejection can feel much bigger than it really is. She isn't interested can quietly turn into, I'm not good enough. Once the outcome feels like a verdict on his value, the pressure to get everything right grows. If he was mocked, rejected, or embarrassed around someone he liked before, his brain may enter the next interaction already expecting the same pain. Then comes performance pressure. He feels like he should know what to say, how to flirt, when to make a move, and how to look relaxed while doing it. So instead of simply talking to her, he starts editing himself in real time, and here is where the problem starts. His attention turns inward. Where am I looking? What do I say next? Did that sound stupid? Am I standing weird? Psychologists call this self focused attention. He is trying to prevent awkwardness by monitoring every signal, but that leaves less attention for the actual conversation. The harder he tries to look natural, the less natural he often feels. And once he is watching himself this closely, it gets easier to put her on a pedestal. She stops feeling like another person with insecurities and awkward moments of her own. Her opinion starts carrying unusual weight, and the moment the interaction stops feeling equal, comparison usually follows. He notices another man who seems funny, smooth, or effortless around women and assumes that confidence came naturally. He cannot see the awkward attempts, failed conversations, and rejection that may have built that ease. He compares another man's outside to everything happening inside his own head. And once he starts comparing, he begins looking for proof that he is the one falling short. A pause feels like boredom, a glance away feels like disinterest, a different tone feels like he said something wrong. Some shy men are highly observant, but anxiety can turn that into threat detection. His brain fills in the blanks before he has enough evidence. And strangely, this does not happen equally with every woman. It is often strongest when he genuinely cares about the outcome. He may be completely relaxed with women he is not trying to impress. The pressure shows up when attraction, respect, or emotional investment makes the interaction matter more. So he protects himself, he speaks less, avoids eye contact, rehearses sentences, waits for the perfect opening. Sometimes he avoids starting the conversation at all. Each move gives short term relief, but it can also teach his brain that the situation was dangerous enough to require protection. That is why the same man can seem different after a few meetings. Once the stakes fall, he jokes more, he listens better, he stops editing every sentence. The social ability did not suddenly appear, the perceived risk disappeared. So, the psychology of men who are shy around women is rarely explained by low confidence alone. Attraction raises the stakes, rejection feels personal, pressure turns conversation into performance. Self monitoring makes it harder to be present, and avoidance keeps the fear familiar. That is the paradox. He may spend the entire interaction trying to make a good impression, while the effort to control that impression is exactly what keeps him from acting like himself. And sometimes, if that pattern goes on long enough, a man stops putting himself in those situations altogether. We explored that psychology in Psychology of Men Who Live Alone Without a Girlfriend or Wife. But the biggest shift begins when the interaction stops feeling like a test he has to pass and starts feeling like what it is: two people finding out whether they connect.